and could erupt again soon. For Dougal, it's more evidence that this whole part of Africa is getting more volcanic as the Earth's crust splits apart.
The Earth's crust here is really, really thin. And it's really, really thin because beneath my feet, we're at the boundary between three major structures in the Earth's crust. And these structures are literally tearing themselves apart. And when it tears itself apart, it gives it cracks and structures which molten magma can work its way through to the Earth's surface as volcanoes.
So as it sinks further into the volcanic underworld, the hottest place on Earth is only going to get hotter.
Well, this is it. We're leaving Dalal. As you can see, all the vehicles are being packed up, and suddenly we're not going to be on foot anymore. We're going to be in these trucks heading south to what is going to be our base camp now for the next few weeks.
Our destination is the village of Kusrawat. The journey should take 4 hours if nothing goes wrong. And that's a big if, because we're heading out across some of the most rugged, hostile terrain in this part of the world. And that's saying something.
We have a stopped vehicle, we have a stopped vehicle. All vehicles stop now, thank you. Come on, keep going, come on, push.
It's too hot to be doing this.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of using camels in this terrain. Camels don't have alternators, wheels that get stuck.
They don't need power steering.
They don't need power steering or pulling out by a rope.
Oh, this is becoming a bit of a chore now. We've been going for nearly, well, two and a half hours. We've made probably about, I'd say, 5 kilometres, maybe 6 kilometres. It's not going particularly well.
But it'll be worth it, because we'll finally get to meet the people who live out here permanently, the Afar communities of the Danakil Depression. I'm incredibly excited because this is why I'm here, to work with and learn from these unique people, to discover how they survive from day to day. By the time we get to the village, it's dark, and we have no idea what kind of place we'll be calling home for the next few weeks, or what kind of reception we're going to get.
Hello.
Hi. Will you say, from all of us, this is very special for us, and to say a huge thank you for allowing us to come and stay in on their land and with them.
Okay, we
make congratulations to you, and we love you. Okay, we are glad to meet you. We are love you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So we needn't have worried. Not only do they love us, they've even laid on some traditional dancing. And though it's meant to be just for the men, I'm so glad to be here, there's nothing going to keep me off that dance floor.
I have to jump! Not like this! Hang on, see? Hang on! Oh my goodness, I've scored and I've only been here 10 minutes! Good? This is when you really feel like I'm in Ethiopia. I'm with, I'm gonna find out about these people. I feel like you really are being kind of welcomed into this big extended family, and it suddenly feels after the walk and everything that we have really arrived.
It's 5 a.m. and the start of our first day living with the Afar people in Kusrawat.
This is really going to be our first time that we can kind of understand how the Afar live day to day in this incredibly harsh environment.
I'll be living with the women, while Steve and team biologist Richard will spend the day with the village chief.
Assalamu alaikum. Richard.
Richard Mgali.
I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve. Yeah, Richard. My name is Gilsa.
Gilsa.
The Afar are reputed to be one of the most ferocious tribes in the world, and the chiefs are commonly given a name that reflects their power. In English, Galissa translates as frightening.
You have a very interesting name. It means frightening, but he looks very friendly and hospitable and warm.
You don't know me very well, he says. He saw me this morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Though we've come all this way to find out about the Afar, we find they're just as interested in learning about us.
I have to ask you a question. Why don't you have our color?
It's where we come from, the sun is not very strong. The longer we stay in Ethiopia, the darker our skin will become. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know yet.
Galissa's first job of the day is to tend his camels. Providing milk, meat, transport and status, camels are the Afar's greatest single possession. So it's not surprising Galissa sings to his every morning before milking begins. Guests are traditionally welcomed with fresh camel's milk, so for Steve and Richard, this is a huge honour.
Okay. Gotta get. That's very nice. That's very nice.
And it's considered very rude not to finish it.
There you go. Get it down, you. That's, you know, it's thank you very much for that. That's great.
Try more.
Camel's milk is a vital source of protein and fat in the Afar's otherwise fairly meagre diet.
What's really nice here is we can see that it's obviously very important to him that his children, especially the male children, grow up big and strong. It just goes to show that, you know, these guys could not live here without these animals, you know. These animals are their lifeblood, really. Look at that lovely big white moustache.
This part of the Danakil Depression is just as hot as anywhere we've travelled through, with daytime temperatures regularly approaching 50 degrees centigrade. But it's also remarkably green here, and that's because there's water, if you know where to dig.
Gosh, it's a deep well, 15 feet deep.
Team medic Sue and I are spending the day with Galissa's wife and daughters, and our first job is to collect water. The Afar have always been a nomadic people, travelling in search of grazing for their animals. But for the last 30 years, the people of Kusawat have settled here because oases like this are few and far between, and the Afar know a good thing when they see it.
This is quite a luxury, really, because having a well so close to the village is obviously a bonus. However, you've still got to schlep down here, pull the water up, fill your containers, and schlep back again.
What feels like a luxury to the locals feels like damn hard work to me.
Yes, this seems to be the traditional way to carry water, which makes a lot of sense, actually, because, as you know, it's much heavier carrying something in your arm. Sorry, I've got to concentrate here. No, OK, which way? Oh, under my arm, yeah, OK. It's not the most comfortable of positions to be in. Like that? Good? Everyone happy? OK, back up the hill. Look at you, you make it look completely effortless.
The Afar Women's Day is a non-stop cycle of cooking and collecting water and firewood. But while I join the women in their daily labour, Steve and Richard are sitting down with Galissa for a cup of tea in the shade.